Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. It is a beautiful, semi-rainy day here in Johnson City, and I'm here with a friend. I'm excited for you guys to get to know. He is sounds like he's got a lot going on, and it's just exciting to catch up with him. So, welcome to the podcast, Alex Bomba, Biscuit Doodle, Main Street Cafe. What else you got going on that's on that list?
We've got the Windsor Speakeasy downtown.
Windsor.
And we have Cured Fine Meats, which is a bacon and sausage business.
Did you bring Mitch and I some bacon?
I did not.
That would have been really, really awesome. Okay, well, you've listened to the show before. First question coming at you. What do you love about Johnson City?
I've really loved seeing it grow, especially the last 10 years or so. It's taken on a lot of new forms. I moved away I grew up in this area, but then I moved away to go to college. And the amount that it changed from when I was 18 to when I was 30 and came back was unbelievable. And then again, another, to date myself, another 12 years after that, to see what's happened is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a melting pot in the middle of, southern Appalachia, which you wouldn't think that's where a melting pot might happen, but it really has.
It really has. We got people coming from everywhere, which is kind of cool. And I'm sure you run into everyone because being a restaurateur, lots of people are
Everybody
coming
needs food.
Everybody needs food, and none of us there are a lot of people like to cook, but I don't like to cook. All right, so tell me the Alex Bomba story. Like, you grew up here, then you went to school where?
I went to Center College,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a tiny little liberal arts school in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
and did the traditional 4-year route there. I ended up in finance after that
Okay.
in Louisville, so I got my.
Were you like, hey, I'm going to be a stockbroker the whole
Yep,
time?
gonna wear a suit,
I'm going to
work
make big
my way
money.
to the
You
corner
probably
office.
watched Wall Street.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wall Street Boiler Room was my
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
that seemed like a good idea.
Yeah,
and
let's get in the mix.
yeah.
Let's make lots of money.
it turns out it's not as fun as some of the movies. I guess the movies weren't really fun; they're kind of tragic.
They are sad, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't for me. Going to the same office, wearing the same thing every day, just didn't really suit me real well. So I think at the age of 25, I had I guess my midlife crisis came early, and I said I'm going to go to culinary school and quit my high-paying job and make $8 an hour as a line cook and figure out how to cook. So
Nice. Did you go to Johnson & Wales like in?
no, I went in Louisville.
Okay.
There's a place called Sullivan University. And,
Okay.
Breland and I were married at the time, so we luckily she was supportive, and we already had, she had a job that needed to pay the bills all of a sudden.
Nice.
So
I was like, all right, we're going to hang it out there. I'm going to
so
support you for
she
this.
was okay with it, and luckily it worked out. So yeah, I worked my way up through the restaurants in Louisville. I ended up getting my first chef's job up there after a number of years. Then Washington, D.C. for a few years, and then back down here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So bounced around a little bit.
Yeah. And then so you come back to Johnson City, you and your wife, and you're like, I guess you got to make money. So what do you guys do when you get here?
We moved back.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2010.
Okay.
So 13 years ago, I guess
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Her parents started Main Street Cafe in Jonesboro in 1982.
Wow.
And so they were getting to the point where they were ready to be done.
Right.
And
They're like, we're tired of making chicken salad.
yeah. And so
But it's fantastic. They make awesome chicken salad
with
all kinds of great stuff.
my culinary background, and Breland was working as a catering director for the PGA Tour in DC. So we still in the business, and so it just sort of made sense. Kind of fell into place for us to move back and start working towards buying them out and taking over the business that way. And Breland's brother is involved also. He owns the cafe half of it. So when we bought the company, we split it in two, and so the cafe is technically separate, but it's family business. It's
Gotcha.
You can't really separate them.
Right. Hopefully you guys get along well.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
forget what is it Sierra Nevada that says on the can, debated and argued over, family owned and argued over, or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so I'm sure there are lots of those family conversations
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the background.
It's always weird when the stockholder is also your wife. So
Right.
those meetings can get a little interesting
Like,
sometimes.
I don't think I need to disagree with you on this
Yeah,
one. We're
yeah.
just going to let it roll. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Main Street, you guys are doing well there
Hmm.
13 years ago. How long, like, you just spent the last?
We worked with my in-laws, and then, like I said, eventually bought them out.
So they're retired now.
They're done. Yeah,
They're loving
they're
life.
they're enjoying um, whatever they wanted to do. Their adult life, they're doing it now.
They're like driving by the cafe and just checking on it and like
Yep,
kept driving. We're like,
yep,
we're good.
yep. So yeah, they don't have to come. They don't have to come in anymore. My mother-in-law is a tremendous artist, so she gets to paint and mosaic and whatever she wants to do every morning. So
Tell the listeners a little, I mean, like, because it sounds like maybe there's some people I'm sure out there that are like, oh, I wouldn't mind a little cafe, but it's not like you just open up at 10 o'clock and
no,
you serve some folks, lunch and you shut it down around 3.
yeah,
I mean, it's a huge deal.
yeah. I mean, no matter your hours, it's pretty much all day. There's always something to prep or clean, or a piece of equipment breaks,
Yeah.
and you know, you could pay someone to come fix it, but
Yeah.
that's not a cheap endeavor. So you're
Right.
better off just grabbing a wrench and a screwdriver and trying to do it yourself.
Figuring it out.
So yeah, it's the day to day is can be long. I always joke if I was good at something else, I would do it, but it just turns out I can cook
That's great.
better than I can do anything else. So
What's your favorite passion for cooking? Like which discipline or like what do you like?
probably like traditional Italian. So it's a lot of like I love making pasta from scratch,
Yeah.
and then a lot of like what I call one pot cooking, where you braise the meat in the pot, take that out, add veggies, add wine, add whatever your flavoring
Uh-huh.
and aromatics are going to be, and so it all kind of builds these great layers, and sometimes it takes 8 hours to make this perfect sauce and braised
Oh,
meat and that kind
wow.
of stuff. So I like the patience that comes along with making like truly fine food, crafted food. So
That's awesome.
it's sort of the premise behind like the Windsor also. I mean, that was, we wanted there to be a cocktail place in Johnson City
Yeah.
that really was crafted. We take a lot of pride in making all of our own ingredients there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's same sort of premise. Like,
Yeah.
you know, takes longer, but it's better.
We've been there a couple of times. It's a cool place. You've done
Good.
a really,
Thank you.
really neat job there. And Joy's still there?
No, she's down the
Oh,
street,
at
um,
yeah,
at
one
where
chow.
one set, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. Okay, so you went from the Main Street, and then we said, "Hey, we're gonna open the Windsor."
Yeah, the
Is that
Windsor.
the chronological?
Yep, the Windsor was the next thing that we did. It's right at 4 years old now,
Yeah,
I
and
think.
so it's a speakeasy.
Hmm.
So it's a cocktail bar, lounge. I don't know what you want to call it exactly, but it is a cool space. You walk through an old Coke machine, like
Hmm.
it's kind of when you get into the front of it, it's just kind of like, oh, this is just like a little convenience store
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. It's
Whose vision was that? That's because it's cool.
that was a team of us. We own that one actually with Jacob and Kelly Grieve that
Yeah,
own the ale house,
yeah, which are
and
they're
that
sweet
that
people.
came from just sort of sitting around, and we both had lived other places and had kind of talked about there's just I think there could be a better cocktail bar
Yeah,
than there is currently.
yeah,
And we had both lived in cities that had speakeasies and just thought it'd be a cool idea. And it was one of those like, do you think Johnson City's ready? And it's all the things you talk about before you pull the trigger on something.
uh
And
huh.
luckily, that building came available, and that kind of accelerated the plan. It works out. It's not a great looking building, but that's kind of part of the charm. Is that
It's really
we didn't spend any money on the outside, and it shows.
it
But
is so unassuming. You like walk up and you're like, I think I'm in a vacant where like, is this
yes.
even the right spot? You like double check your phone. Is
Oh yeah,
this
we've
the
heard stories from people saying their Uber driver wouldn't drop them off
Yeah,
because
they're
they're like,
like, I'm
this
not gonna
can't
leave
this
you
can't
here.
be it. But it's worth it once you get on the inside.
Oh my gosh. And then you come in, yeah, and like you're kind of like it's just super cool. Like so that sets the scene for just sitting down and having like an amazing cocktail with your friends. And so it's a neat surprise. Neat surprise. All right. So then you're like, okay, we've done the main street. We're catering out of there. We're making chicken salad. We're making awesome drinks. What else?
Cured came next. So that came sort of as a result of the pandemic and all the shutdowns. So catering
Shut
sort of
down.
became illegal. It was
Because like at Main Street, like how much is it? Half of your business goes out the back door, like on
more.
catering.
Yeah, no, it's mostly catering.
It's
I
mostly
mean, the
catering.
cafe is busy, and Zach
Every time I'm in
kills
there,
it.
it's
Oh
packed.
yeah, it's great. But our side of it is a lot more of like corporate catering, and so
Okay.
we do a lot for ETSU, Eastman, Nuclear Fuels. So once all those companies stopped having meetings, that
You're
was a
like,
huge chunk of our day-to-day business. And um, as you've probably figured out, I'm not really good at like sitting still and just hoping for the best.
right,
So
right. You're
um,
like, I got to do something.
yeah, we got to figure out something, and it
And
seemed
then
like
you
direct.
looked at the pigs running around your yard, and you're like, I know what I could do with you guys.
Yep. My background, when I was a chef, I kind of specialized in charcuterie, so I always made all my own salamis and sausages and things like that.
That's
And so I
cool.
said, well, we can probably sell this. And it needed to be direct to consumer at the time because
Yeah,
no one was getting together.
right.
And so that's what we came up with cured. So I started making bacon and sausage and just selling it through like the website, Instagram. We handle some local delivery, stuff like that, but just find a way to get it to you.
That's
So
cool. And
yeah,
how's that business doing?
it's good. So and then it kind of spawned the latest thing because if we're making breakfast meats, we might
We
as
got
well
bacon and sausage. We need some eggs
we
and
might as well
biscuits to
make
go with it.
biscuits.
That's
Yep.
right, right.
So
And so then you guys decided to start Biscuit Doodle,
yep, we just started Biscuit
which
Doodle.
just opened recently,
Yeah,
right?
1st of July,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. So we're 6, 7 weeks in at this point.
yeah.
Oh,
I will say a lot of my friends were really upset that the Bojangles
yeah.
was no longer there. However, you upgraded a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. We bought the building and gave it a facelift
Yeah, it looks good.
and changed the menu, of course. But it's a little bit more of a sit down. You order at the counter and we bring it to you. So it's not fast food. It's, quick, we'll
Yeah,
say.
fast casual.
Yes. Yeah. It's more on par with like the McAllister's type design. So like I say,
Gotcha.
you order at the counter, we'll give you a number. It's, a few minutes. We'll bring you some fresh homemade
So take us
breakfast.
through like we walk in, you hit the counter, you order. What kind of food are you selling? It's breakfast food, right?
Yeah, it's a biscuit centric menu, we'll say. So there's 12 different biscuit sandwiches, and that's everything from simple, bacon, egg, and cheese, which of course is cured bacon. So we make it, in Jonesboro
That's awesome.
from scratch. So that kind of, sets us apart. I don't think there's another restaurant around here that makes their own sausage and bacon.
That's pretty strong.
So it can be as simple as, like I said, bacon, egg, and cheese. We've got a Philly steak and egg one. We've got a ranchero, which is going to be, avocado, salsa, uh,
Saw something
scrambled
spicy
eggs.
too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had
yeah.
like a spicy
There's a
one.
spicy, sweet and spicy chicken sandwich
Yeah,
in
that looked
there.
really good.
Yeah, so it's, it's not your typical biscuit sandwiches. We do have, biscuits and gravy is still the best seller. It's still East Tennessee, so
It's East Tennessee, baby.
we
We
sell a
love that
lot of
stuff.
biscuits and gravy. But so
Yeah.
you can go, anywhere from literally just a fried chicken biscuit or an egg and cheese biscuit, all the way up to we've got one that has a crab cake on it. So it's a crab cake Benedict with, hollandaise and all the
It's a pretty extensive
trimmings.
menu. I mean, like,
Yeah,
so juggling that from the back's got to be tough. I mean, you got a lot of ingredients. You're got a lot of different things.
yeah, yeah. I mean, staffing's always the big thing. We've got a talented staff back there, so having people that
I
can,
hear that's the hardest part of a business right now.
oh, especially now, yeah, it always has been, but it's
Even right now.
right
Yeah.
now is
Even.
like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah. And then you like, I had another guy we were talking to the other day. He's like, I'm just gonna have to start paying $20 an hour just to start to get them in the door because they
Oh
don't
yeah,
want.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No one's showing up for less than 15
Isn't that
easily,
crazy?
and
I mean, like,
that's pushing. Everyone's paying that now. So yeah, if you find someone, with some skill, it's
I
it's
think
it's
my
higher.
first job was minimum wage at 275 an hour.
Yeah, mine was 425.
There you go.
Yeah,
So I'm a little older than you, but that's okay.
I found a nicer way to say it.
um, what's your favorite thing on the menu over there?
Um, I like this is uh this will explain my expanding waistline, but the kitchen sink is probably my favorite. So it is aptly named because it has just sort of everything.
Everything on it?
Yeah, it's fried chicken, bacon, egg, cheese, sausage gravy, all on a biscuit,
Oh my gosh.
and
That's got to be a big old biscuit to
it's
handle all
it's
that.
delicious. But man, it hurts a little bit after you're done. So it's good. It's a good start and end to your day sometimes.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I don't recommend that one on a Tuesday morning.
Right.
If you're heading into the office, like, maybe.
Or if you're headed to a triathlon,
Yeah.
just we're going to burn out 3,000 calories today, just
Yep.
running and swimming and biking. And so the kitchen sink's your go-to.
It's a good one. Like I say, well, if you can't make up your mind, it's got a
Or
little
you're a
bit,
golfer, you're going
little
to
bit
go
of
play
everything on it.
36. Let's get the kitchen sink. That's awesome. So tell about, like, if people are listening, they're thinking about coming to Biscuit Doodle. Where are you located?
We are on State of Franklin, 1709. We are basically on campus there at ETSU. Like you said, it's the old Bojangles building, but we're tucked in between Earth Fair and the Mini Dome.
Yeah, Knight's Pizza's over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so a family shows up, and you can accommodate a whole, like, I mean, how many does a restaurant hold?
We've got 70 seats.
Yeah.
We've got ranging from little four tops up to, I think the biggest table can hold 10. Obviously, we can push tables together and things like that. But yeah, it's a good sized dining room. We kept the drive-through, which is good for picking up to-go orders and catering jobs, stuff like that. People do come through and just order. We always,
So you could order in line, like just drive up.
yeah, we do have the drive-through. Like I said, we always try to like prepare people. Like it isn't McDonald's.
It's not going to be 2 minutes.
It's depending on what you order, it can be. But if you get a crab cake, you
gonna take
wouldn't
a-
want a crab cake in a minute. That'd be that's
We've
been
got it under the hot
that's
lamp
been
for the
sitting
last
there for a
hour
while.
and a half.
It's
shriveled up.
so that's been the biggest test with the drive-through is like even though it is a drive-through, it's more of like just a service window. Like it's we definitely can
Yeah,
feed you, but
it's going to be 10 to 15 minutes.
chicken and waffles. Well, hopefully not 10 or 15, but yeah, it's
Yeah, somewhere in there.
slower than McDonald's.
Gotcha.
I think that's a good thing.
Chicken waffles. Whoever came up with that, I want to shake that man's hand or that lady's hand. Like that's just a great combo.
Yep, salty, sweet.
So okay. Besides the kitchen sink, tell me like what else do you guys offer that somebody's going to be like, this is the thing that you want to try? I mean, obviously it's Biscuit Doodle. Talk about the biscuits a little bit.
Yeah, the biscuits, like everything else, made from scratch every day. If let's see.
And where'd the doodle come from? I mean,
Oh,
like,
the doodle came from the dog.
you got a dog,
Yeah, so
Labradoodle,
he's a golden doodle.
Golden
His
doodle?
name's Mosley.
Mosley.
Yeah,
Does he get to hang out? Does he make biscuits?
he did when it was under construction. He does not understand why the health department will not let him be in the
What?
kitchen. He is not happy
You
about
don't
it.
really see dogs
No.
at restaurants
So
very often.
he enjoyed being the mascot, and he was around for a lot of the photo shoots. But yeah, he doesn't get to be there when we're serving. But
But I'm
yeah.
sure he gets some royalties off of the name and
course,
sales and
yeah.
that kind of thing. You probably take
Yeah.
good care of him.
he gets pretty much everything we make.
Mosley,
so,
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it came from a lot of these restaurants have popped up all over the country over the last few years. So there's companies like Vicious Biscuit, Biscuit Head, Biscuit Bars in Texas,
Flying biscuit.
Flying Biscuit, Biscuitville. So we basically just figured out they're all named Biscuit and some other word.
There you
There's
go.
no rhyme or reason to it.
Right.
So we just said, well, we think about
Bomba's biscuits didn't
Yeah.
sound good. That
Yeah.
sounds great, I think.
we.
Bomba's Biscuit Emporium.
I'm not as cute a mascot as Mosley is, so it made more sense to have a cartoon dog than it did just my
They have Alex on there.
big bearded face on there.
I hear you. I hear you. I love it. I love it. All right. So you're in the mix in Johnson City in the area a little bit. What do you see? How do you see our area growing and like developing? And what are you excited about for Johnson City in the future, you think?
I still think that downtown is the gem. I mean the artery streets are always going to grow. State of Franklin's going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, I think that's a great location for you.
Boones Creek will keep getting bigger and things like that. But I think us having like a real showpiece downtown is what is can. I mean, any city anywhere in the country can make a good looking strip mall, I guess. But the architecture we have down here is unique, and it's survived a lot of years, and
Yeah, you got 100-year-old bricks right behind
right,
us. Or whatever.
yeah. So I think if we can keep focusing on downtown, the Severe Center's a giant undertaking that,
That's happening.
yeah,
They're working on it, but
yeah,
yeah, we're 3 or 4 years out on that deal.
oh
Probably.
yeah, yeah. But that'll be a huge step, I think, if we can have, whether it's, downtown living or a nice hotel or,
Hmm.
something that brings more traffic down to this part of the city, I think will do a lot of, I mean, talk to people in Asheville, they're moving over here. And,
Oh well, yeah, because
it's,
it's gotten so expensive over there. They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, Johnson City's just as nice, if not nicer, less busy, and a little cheaper. It's I will say, housing prices here, versus Asheville. Asheville's a little higher for sure, but it's not by much
Well, yeah, not
because
after
we got a
that.
lot of pressure.
Yeah, not after that last boom we had.
The pandemic just drove everybody here. They're like, well, I don't want to look at a wall or in a cubicle when I could sit and look at the mountains and
Hmm.
watch the Four Seasons, be on my computer outside and just
Yeah,
enjoy
I mean, so many people are working remotely now. You don't have
to
to
work
live.
at the Biscuit Doodle all day.
Yeah.
What are your hours at Biscuit Doodle?
During the week, so Monday through Friday, we're 7 to 2, and
Okay,
then on the weekends we push it back an hour, so we're 8 to 3.
8 to 3.
Yep.
Nice.
People seem to get started a little slower on Saturday and
They
Sunday. So,
sometimes do. Yeah, my son and I we went by there 2 Saturdays ago, I think, and swung by. It was a good experience for
oh,
sure.
good.
Yeah, we liked it. We need to get back there. It was cool too because here in Johnson City, you always see somebody you know somewhere, and so I got to
Oh
see
yeah,
a couple different people in there that were they're having a great time with their family, and
yeah.
just has a great feel. It's lighter, bright, just
We tried to make it as bright as we could. We raised the ceilings. The previous store had a drop ceiling,
hmm
and so we took everything up to the exposed rafters and painted as much of it white as we could. But funny enough, the colors ended up being sort of blue and gold, which we did not intend that on being ETSU's colors,
yeah.
but it worked out really well since
Just come up with a
we're on.
blue and gold biscuit or something
So,
like.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Or
we've got football games right around the corner, so that should be a good partnership for us
yeah.
with having the football stadium in our backyard.
Are you gonna be able to cater out of Biscuit Doodle
Yeah,
too, or
yeah, yeah.
so?
We'll do especially for like if there's people tailgating and things like that. We'll certainly do things those days. But yeah, we cater every day. VA's across the street, the
Hospital's
med
right
center
around the
down the
corner.
street,
Yeah,
ETSU. So yeah, there's always offices that need breakfast.
yeah,
So,
that's awesome. What? Okay, so what's your next dream wish like thing that you're thinking about in the back of your brain that you may create in the future? You said you really like downtown, so it sounds like maybe something.
yeah, I don't know. When we open something, that's kind of the laser focus for the
Few
foreseeable
years. Does
future.
your
Yeah,
wife get like, all right, you got to stay on this one for a little while, Alex? Or are you kind of
yeah,
the
she
like the dream
tries.
guy,
No,
or
I have a good or bad habit, depending on who you ask, of thinking of things, designing them, starting them, and then Breland ends up running them. So I'm sure she doesn't want me to think up something else
she's
anytime
like,
soon.
I'm kind of
But
spread thin. Talk about that a little bit, like leadership for people. I mean, having multiple businesses that you're running and leading, and what's your focus? How do you manage that? Because you're
man,
doing it well, right?
managers are the most important thing. I think probably one thing that led to me leaving the corporate world was my distaste of being managed, like micromanagement and
Right.
things like that. So I've always I've always kind of prided myself in being as hands off. I always tell my managers, I'll be as hands on as you need me to be,
Right.
but you'd rather I not be.
Right.
Like you'll do better if I'm not here.
Sure.
Because it gives you a chance to take ownership of whatever it is. We had um, at Biscuit Doodle, we've got Rachel and Becky, our two managers, and then a guy named Nate in the back, and they would ask about things to try, and I'd say just try it. Like all you can do. And so at the end of the day, you always have biscuits, and we don't, we're not going to use them the next day as biscuits because that would defeat the purpose of the business. But Rachel made this bread pudding out of biscuits. So
Oh
she
wow.
just dreamt up, like, made a cinnamon custard and rolled that together and baked it. And so it basically is these little, sweet French toast biscuit cups.
Oh, that's
And it
cool.
just came out of like well, we've got,
Leftover biscuits.
yeah, surely there's something we can make that's going to be delicious with these. And so that's the kind of thing, like, I want them to feel like they have the freedom to try that sort of thing, and that we're not going to come in and go, "Oh, this isn't on the menu. You can't, you can't do this. How dare you?"
Yeah.
We'd say, "Oh, great. I don't know if it didn't turn out great." Then we'd say, "Well, we can't sell this," but it was delicious. So I think that's the biggest thing is hiring people that want to have their own place, but
Hmm.
maybe just aren't at a point in their life to be ready to do it yet.
Well, and like, yeah, with you and your multiple companies, I mean, you're going to need people that are almost running those things
Well, yeah.
solely. And so you're like, basically you've got it. And I don't know if you offer stock,
Mhm.
like buy into that or profit sharing or what, but yeah, it sounds like you can help them get to where they want to
Mhm.
go and not leave your organization. Right. And so,
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll keep expanding. I mean, we've never done second locations of anything, but this Biscuit Doodle is probably something that
could do
could
that.
be repeatable. So hopefully, we just keep having
Maybe there'll be one
opportunities
in
to
every city across the
hire
country at some point. Just
hire
franchise it
more.
out.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me.
That'd be good with you. Then you can
Yeah,
play golf all the time.
yeah,
I'll see you out on the golf course all the time.
yeah. I haven't played much this year.
I hadn't seen you much.
No, well,
Biscuit Doodle.
starting a new place takes a lot of time. So
It does for sure.
yeah, if I realize I'm golfing too much, then it means I've gotten too comfortable.
There you
I need to open something else.
go. So let's jump pages a little bit. You and Breland are going on a date, like, because you guys don't have like a dinner spot that you, besides the Windsor maybe. So you could, let's say you swing by the Windsor, you have a cocktail.
Mhm.
Where are you going to dinner after that?
Right now, I think Juniper's the best in the city right now.
It's so good.
They've
Well, I was going to, from a culinary expert like yourself, it'd be good to hear this
they
and give some other options for our listeners too.
yeah, they're doing just top notch
They really
stuff
are.
right now, and they change specials out regularly. So even if you're not that we're regulars, but we've been enough times where it's like, oh, I can only get the duck so many times.
Yeah.
It's nice, and all the specials have been amazing. They're actually customers of
I was
ours.
going to say, are they using the cured meats?
He uses cured bacon.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was on a pork tenderloin dish for a
Uh-huh.
while, and now it's on a North Carolina trout dish.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah.
they are customers, but we'd go there either way.
Yeah, it's delicious.
They're really
Yeah, we've
talented.
had the blessing to go there 3 or 4 times. It's
Yeah,
been great.
they're really talented. So we
Yeah.
do that. Um, Breland is a sucker for Mexican food, so we've been to every Mexican restaurant there is, and go to all of them.
Yeah.
She rotates pretty regularly around those.
Oh, that's good. I
Um,
love chips and salsa and chips and queso. I could just sit there and do that,
mhm,
or a nice taco. It's not. I don't need I like as the older I'm getting, like I don't really need that much food,
mhm.
So like I'm with her. Like you can go to a Mexican place and eat a little bit of this or that, and that's great.
Yep.
Get a lot of cool different flavors. Cool. Okay. What's something I didn't ask you that you wish I had that you want to share? Maybe if there's anything out there.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like we
Kind
covered
of
it.
covered it
Yeah.
all. Okay. Um, let's say you're going to get a cup of coffee. I'm going to throw a couple speed rounds at you. Where are you
Okay.
getting a cup of coffee?
Dos Gatos.
Dos Gatos. Where are you getting a pizza from?
Shoo.
Sounds like you don't eat pizza.
Well, it depends so much on where you live.
That's
So
true. Where do you guys
when we
live?
lived in Jonesboro, it was Luke's Pizza because it was in between Jonesboro and Johnson City all the
Yep.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we live in more like central Johnson City, so um, we tend to go to Johnny Brusco's
Yeah.
more just because we live sort of close to the mall.
Dollar slice night, Monday night.
Yeah, so
Get a beer and a slice.
the same reasons we like Luke's. We like.
There you go. That's right. I love it. We go on Sims Monday nights. Have dollar slice night.
Yeah, I do go out to Sam if I'm out in that part of town. That's probably my favorite.
It's great. It
Yeah.
does a good job. Burger. Where are you going on getting a burger?
Shoot, probably Aubrey's.
Aubrey's.
That's a
They
really
do
good
make a
burger.
good burger. That's a good one. We haven't had an Aubrey's. Everybody says label or, all right, barbecue.
Project Barbecue.
Project Barbecue. Those guys, they've been on here and it
Oh,
is,
have they?
it
Yeah,
is fantastic.
it's
Oh my
really
God.
yeah.
I drove by the other day and there are still people waiting to get in there.
Hmm.
I mean, they've got such a great product. Good job, fellas. You're killing it out there.
Yep, they make top notch stuff.
Yeah.
That's really good barbecue.
And biscuit. Where are you going to get a biscuit?
Biscuit Doodle.
Biscuit Doodle. Okay. And what gets you fired up, Alex? Like, you're just like, this is the best thing ever.
Well,
Hitting a golf ball 300 yards?
If I ever did that, that sounds great. I used to always say dunking a basketball, but I
Oh,
can't do that anymore either.
gotcha.
But yeah, I used to joke with people would say like, "What's that feel like?" And I'd
Uh,
always say, "However good you think it feels, it's better."
it's
And it really
I love
is.
it. Do you
Yeah,
guys go to the ETSU games?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we do too. I'm excited about the Bucks. I'm hoping this year we really do well.
Should be. I think it'll be a strong team.
Mhm.
I think new coach. Guys seem to be buying into him, so that's always a
I think we got a whole new lineup too,
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
looking
really hate
good.
it for that 2020 team that was a special team,
Oh man, they
and
were
then when
great.
everything got canceled, it was like
Come on.
I really
We were going to the show.
they
We were
could
going to the dance. Let's go. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
absolutely.
If you
Thanks for
guys are
having me.
listening, go right now. Just turn your car into Biscuit Doodle or call me and I'll tell you exactly where it is and how to get there and eat a biscuit. You guys are on all the socials, you said, but you're not a social media guru
Yeah,
like myself.
people tell me that we're on all the socials, but
Yeah.
I'm the wrong one to ask. But yeah, we're on Instagram and
Do you still have a
Facebook.
MySpace page or
No, I never did
I
actually.
didn't either,
And I
but that
lived
was old school.
I think I lived through the heyday of it. I was in college
Me too.
when it
Yeah,
was
I
a
was like, I
thing.
don't.
So, but I just I never bought in.
You're on the Facebook, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure I am. Now,
I'm sure
the
you
last
are.
time I posted anything,
Yeah.
no telling. I mean,
Twitter, which is now X or something, is that right?
yeah, I don't know if we have a Twitter actually.
Well, Elon's not going to see the biscuit doodle if you don't get on there.
Well,
So we need to get him in there. So, well, thanks for coming on the podcast. Connect with Alex. Go to Main Street. Go to the Windsor. Go to Biscuit Doodle. Get some cured sausage and bacon
hmm
online. That sounds amazing. I'm going to go leave here now and get some. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed getting to hang out with you again, my friend. It's good to see you. Thanks for all you do for our community. Thanks for being just a great restaurateur and feeding us all because we're a bunch of hungry, lazy people that don't like to cook. And
everybody needs food.
we need food. And so until next time, I'm Colin Johnson of the Colin and Carly Group, Keller Williams Realty. If you want to move here and meet Alex and eat biscuits doodle every day, I'd love to help you come on to Johnson City or the Tri-Cities and help you do that. We're moving a lot of people here. If you want to invest in real estate, we love helping people build wealth through that as well. And we'd love to manage your property for you too. So, and it's a great time to sell. There aren't any houses on the market, hardly.
No,
I mean, there are a bunch of them, but
not for long.
they aren't there long. Yeah. So if you want to sell your house, we'd love to sell that for you too. So thanks so much and have a great day.